What's up YouTube, this is GroudonEmpire and I am here for another episode of my Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire rating battle spot single laddering series where I take on the online ladder in singles, which is 3 versus 3, and as an experienced player that got 1900s plus in X and Y, my goal in this series is to provide high level commentary and gameplay for all of us to benefit from and to become better players. If you are hyped and you like this video, please remember to click that like button as it really shows the support for this channel, and I hope you guys enjoy what you're watching. What's up YouTube, this is GroudonEmpire and I am back for another episode of this Battle Spot laddering series for Battle Spot Single. And as you can see, I'm still using the team that I've used in the past two episodes with the Special Kangaskhan and the Zapdos, the Blaziken, Mega Blaziken. That's a Mega Kangaskhan, by the way. Zoomerl, Garchomp, and Aegislash. Now, I just want to quickly explain to you guys the goal of these of the episodes I'm going to have right now are. Now, when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire first came out, my goal was to do Mega evolutions of almost all the Megas, new Megas. And then after that, I did some Megas that one of the subscribers wanted to see. And then I messed around with Porygon Z a little bit. And then I started using this team based on making improvements from the Porygon Z team. My true goal right now is to hit 2,000 in Battle Spot Single. And how I'm going to achieve this is basically I'm going to use a team, and I'm going to keep on using the same team. And every time I lose, I'm going to analyze the losses and see why I lost. And if I feel like I need to make a change to the team, I'll make a change. And if I don't need to make a change, I'll just use the same team, and I'll continue using the same team until I make a change. And even after making the change, again, I'm just going to continue with the cycle until I hit 2,000. And once I hit 2,000, I plan on starting a more interactive series where I take suggestions from you guys and even take entire teams depending on the situation, and I do the same process with it as I try to ladder with it and make improvements for an entire week and switch up teams every week. But for now, I'm just going to focus on trying to ladder to 2,000 and make improvements as I lose and whatnot. So let's just get going. So right now I'm sitting at whatever rating I'm sitting at, 1589. I wish 1859. The focus of these battles is to win, of course, but commentary and explaining to you guys my thought process and what I predict my opponent to be using. And we found our first opponent 1600 rating, and how they would play and what my best moves are, and just so you can get a better idea of what better players do and what the competition on Battle Spot does, and what it takes to win, and you can just adapt this to any particular team that you're using. So the point of the commentary in these videos is to have you guys benefit yourselves from it in whatever way you can. And my goal is to help you guys get more competitive. So hopefully my commentary and my gameplay really helps you out in that department. So yeah, I look at my opponent's team and I see that his team is very Blaziken weak. But I need to get some kind of damage onto that Swine to break its sash. What I really want to do is start off with Kangaskhan, but at the same, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I feel like I really want to start off with a Kangaskhan because I don't feel like it's necessary to Mega Evolve Blaziken in this game, and I feel like it would be a lot more beneficial if I just start off with Kangaskhan. So I want to start off. I really feel like starting off with Kangaskhan because of that, because it's also like a Klefki around, right? Alternatively, I can start off with Garchomp, or I can start off with Aegislash, actually. You know what? Do I want to start off with Aegislash? I might just start off with Kangaskhan. I'll have a... No. Yeah, Kangaskhan, Blaziken, I'm going to have a Zapdos. I wanted to start off with Garchomp initially to set up the Stealth Rock, and then have a Zapdos and Blaziken. I feel like I should have done that. I'm really regretting my decisions right now, because like what happened is there's a Klefki, and if there's a Klefki, that doesn't mean I can necessarily put in work with it. And there's a Mamoswine lead. I can't guarantee myself that I can use Garchomp and actually come out successful versus the Kangaskhan. So what I'm just gonna do right now is I'll start off with the Kangaskhan. I'm gonna Mega Evolve, go for Shadow Ball, and Mega Evolve, go for Shadow Ball, because it has special, like I can drop my opponent's special defense, and it's a good time. My opponent can alternatively switch out into Aegislash right now, and I can potentially 2-hit KO it. Whatever the case is, Shadow Ball is my best move right from the get-go, so I'm gonna go for it. Another thing that Kangaskhan can really deal with Klefki effectively. Okay, so this is definitely Scarf. Definitely a Scarfer. And there's a special defense drop. That's really nice to see. And what I'm going to do next turn is I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt. I'm gonna go for a Thunderbolt, predicting my opponent to switch out into the Kangaskhan. I'll go for a Thunderbolt. The reason I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt is because I predict my opponent isn't going to switch out. He's going to stay in. And he got a, wow, that wasn't a crit? That wasn't a crit, but it did so much damage. Anyways, I went for a Thunderbolt because, well, that Thunderbolt probably would not have finished. But the reason I went for Thunderbolt is because it does more damage than Shadow Ball. And with the special defense drop, it does more damage overall. So it could potentially 1-hit KO. Now, that didn't 1-hit KO. Well, I don't know if it would have 1-hit KO because there was a crit the second hit. But it was good nonetheless. So it's not too bad, not too bad. Anyway, what I'm gonna do next turn is I'm just gonna switch out into Zapdos, and I'm going to go for Thunderbolts because I don't want this thing to like kill off Kangaskhan and put me in vain. Because I can use Kangaskhan for later, depending on what my opponent has. You know, my opponent might have, you know, Klefki, for example. And I might want to save Kangaskhan for that, right? And it's... We see... Okay, so we see our opponent is actually Life Orb. That's very, very interesting to see his Life Orb. And what I can do next turn is I can just go for a Thunderbolt. My opponent can switch out into Mamoswine right now, and they probably will. That's fine. That's fine. No. Yeah, this is a Mamoswine. Alright, that's interesting. So now I know the 3 Pokemon my opponent has. So what I will do right now is I'm just going to switch out into Kangaskhan because I don't need Kangaskhan anymore. So I can just switch out into Kangaskhan, and Kangaskhan can get sacked off. And what I'm going to do next turn is I'm going to switch out into Blaziken after Kangaskhan is finished. And hopefully he's not going to attack me with the Earthquake when I bring out my Blaziken. And what I can do with my Blaziken at that point is I can just go for a high jump kick. So that's what I'm going to do. Predicting the switch out into... Should I predict that switch? I don't think I should, but it's whatever. It's fine. I'm going to go for Shadow Balls right now because... in the off chance, I don't know. He's gonna kill me with Ice Shard anyway. But in the off chance that something were to happen, Shadow Ball is the best move for me to make overall. Special defense drops are nice because now Zapdos will be able to take care of it. But now Zapdos can't take care of it. What I want to do right now is I want to go out into Blaziken. And I can just high jump kick the switch. Do I want to do that? Right now is risky because if he switches out into the... You know what? He's a Life Orb Talonflame, so he can switch moves. He might switch out into Talonflame right now. I can go for a high jump kick. That's going to do a lot of damage to Talonflame. But what is it going to do next? You know what? I'm just going to go for a high jump kick. Because if I switch out into Zapdos, I'm going to faint. Okay, so he does switch out into the Talonflame. I don't have Stealth Rock up, and High Jump Kick is not going to... Oh, well, I missed, so... That prediction didn't even matter. Talonflame... I think I lose this game. See, that Swine is actually very, very destructive. Now, I could have had Stealth Rock. I'm going to do a quick calc, because I want to see what would have happened to Talonflame, because that's just frustrating. That is just frustrating like nobody's business. What does a High Jump Kick do? Sorry guys, I'm just doing a quick calc because... Okay, High Jump Kick would have done half over half, and... This really sucks. Anyway, I'm just going to go for another High Jump Kick, because if I switch out into Zapdos, I'm going to die to 2 Flare Blitz anyway, so it's best I just go for High Jump Kick. He's going to KO me with anything. Wait, what? What? Alright, that's very, very interesting. That is very, very interesting what my opponent just did there. Alright. That's cool. Alright. Okay, so I don't think my opponent should have done that. But anyway, what I am going to do right now is I'm just going to switch out into Zapdos. I'm going to switch out into Zapdos, predicting my opponent to Brave Bird, because I already, like, that's my best move. Like, otherwise, I really lost this game. Like, I am not in position to actually win until my opponent, yeah. So, even after all of this, I still feel like I'm going to end up losing, because that Swine is definitely sashed. That Swine is definitely sashed, and I'm going to end up losing this game. So that's that goes to show you that I really played Team Preview bad this game, and it shows. You know, it really shows. It's unfortunate, but that's what happened. Had I started off, see, the Klefki factor was very real. Had I started off with Garchomp and I set up rocks and I had Zapdos, I would have been in great shape, but that just wasn't the case for this. It's unfortunate, it really is, but you know, you can't do anything about it, so. You know, he can go for an Ice Shard twice and he'll win, so there's no point in me using Flare Blitz, even if he gets a burn. I'm going to go for High Jump Kick in the off chance. Actually, you know what? How does recoil work? I'm gonna go for a High Jump Kick. He's just gonna go for double Ice Shard and KO me anyway. Wait. Whoa, what? Oh no, I'm not faster. Well, yeah, I had to protect. I forgot. My mind farted right there. Okay, I forgot that I had to protect in order to become faster. But I'm pretty sure my opponent was Focus Sash. So I played Team Preview wrong. I was so afraid of Klefki. So from that team, from that performance, you know, it says multiple things. You know, I could have led off with my own Aegislash, and I could have just, you know, Shadow Balled the world back and whatever. I would have been great. I would have had Zapdos to deal with Talonflame, and Swine. I would have had my my Blaziken to deal with that. So I could have just started off with the with the Aegislash, but then there's a Klefki there, and the Klefki is an issue. Alternatively, I could have started off with my Garchomp, and I could have Rock Tombed the first turn, and then the next turn... Well, actually, no, that's not the best move for me to make. I could have Stealth Rocked to break the sash on the Mamoswine, and what I could have done from there is I could have just... So I start off with Garchomp, I set up a Stealth Rock, and then my Garchomp's going to end up passing out. That's fine. And then what I would end up doing is I would end up going out into my Zapdos. and I would end up... that wouldn't be good, because then he can go out into Swine, he can force switches. So yeah, that team, I really think that really my best hope to win that game was to start off with Aegislash, actually. That was my best move. Or I could have just had, you know what? Forget about, I keep on talking to you guys about using Blaziken. You know what? I didn't have to bring Blaziken. I could have started off with my Aegislash. I could have had Kangaskhan, and I could have had a Zapdos, and I could have potentially did better that way. So, yeah, I definitely could have played it better with my team. It's just I needed more time to think about it. Anyways, guys, that's enough for this episode. You know, I typically like to have my episodes within 20 minutes and within 17 minutes if I finish the second battle. Sometimes I might look for a third, but right now, if I start the next battle, I know it's going to be somewhere in the 20s, and I just feel like this episode should be that episode that you look at. At the beginning, it has a little announcement and stuff, and then this episode, I really want to look at this battle again, and I really want to get myself together and, you know, show you guys another episode where I'm hopefully doing better and not this disastrous. Oh my goodness, this game was terrible. Anyways, guys, remember, if you like this video, click that like button. Make sure to share the channel and the video around. Really helps the channel out. If you enjoyed it, please remember to do that. Helps out a lot. This is GroudonEmpire. Peace out.